Good morning, everyone. It is December the 12th. It is Thursday. I hope you're having a great day. I hope that encouraged you yesterday about challenging, don't worry about trying to fix yourself, because that's what God deals with most of all, is just our messed up lives. So, what are some examples that keep us from moving forward? Well, here's some examples. Addictions. You're struggling with an addiction. You don't know how to completely clean up your life, but you know that you need to get away from the current friends that you have, but you put it off because you don't have clear direction. How about growth? You want to grow in your faith, but you hear the preacher talk about the Bible every day and whatnot, and you say, I can't measure up. Well, you know what? Work on it. You don't have to measure up to my standards. You have to measure up to the Bible standard. How about ministry or evangelism? There's so many things that we can say, well, I'm not very comfortable with sharing the gospel with somebody today because it's really uncomfortable. And sometimes things in our life becomes comfortable, so that really begins to deter or hold us back from really moving forward in what God has called us to do. And so we have to somehow get that boldness in our lives, saying, I'm going to do it no matter what. It's almost like extreme sport. When you really begin to think about it, sometimes the walk with the Lord is like an extreme sport, because it literally takes you out of your comfort zone. It's like when you get on a zip line for the very first time and you're like, okay, I'm getting chained up to this metal wire, and I'm going to let myself go and fly 100 feet or more down this zip line, and I'm just going to endure it, okay? I'm scared to death, but I'm going to do it. And all of a sudden you hook up and you go down the zip line, and as soon as you get done, you went, whoa, and you want to do it again. See, that's kind of like faith. Your faith step, it's just taking that first step. So things to remember is, when you struggle with that, God will go silent sometimes. In Genesis 15, 1-3, it says, at a moment God was silent. See, I think of Abraham, who is perhaps one of the most well-known biblical examples of what we're talking about. Excuse me, I'm going to sneeze. Excuse me, sorry about that. Abraham, years in between the times when God spoke to him to confirm the covenant. There will be times when you hear nothing at all from God. That doesn't make you or your situation. That's pretty standard in the walk of faith. So don't get freaked out when he doesn't talk to you, but he talks to you. He directs us. It might not be just on that situation or that thing that you're going through. So keep your ears attuned to what God has it. It is a consistent pattern that God doesn't usually give consent. Constant, remember, he points us in the right direction and then goes silent until the next turn, until as you begin to walk forward, as you begin to, and he's like, okay, I'm there at the next stop. It's like running. If you ever been in a race or something like that, there's these places that they hand you water, and there's no one cheering you on until you get to that place. The fact is that God is there cheering you on. And as you run the race of life, or you run your calling, God is right there. He's saying, hey, you can do it. And you get to the next water stop, and someone's there going, yeah. And God in your life is going, yeah, you can do it. And then he tells you, keep going that direction, or turn that direction. There's, guideline, GPS for your life. So God does give us. It doesn't happen every single but sometimes, but it does. But I love that the Bible talks about we are in a race and we're running for a prize. And as we're running for that prize, we're doing the call of the ministry, and God's speaking to us, and we say, God, whatever's next. And all of a sudden we go, whatever's next? And there God is going, yeah, you can do it. Here's a drink of water. Here's a drink of spiritual water, because God is literally directing your life. Well, let me pray for you. Lord, I thank you so much. I pray that you bless every single person. Encourage their hearts, Lord, in your name. Amen. God bless you. We'll see you tomorrow.